Hello. I just want to talk a little bit today about the Netflix TV show that's called Love on the Spectrum. They're on their fourth season now, and I just wanted to give like a little recommendation about it and to encourage people to watch it. As you know, I have a son who has developmental challenges, and he's special needs. So because of that, I have a real interest in these kind of things. You don't often see, you almost never see people with with disabilities or people with challenges on TV. And it's a very rare thing, right? So I like that this show has this kind of representation. But on top of that, it's just a really good show. I dislike reality shows in general, especially the romantic kind. I know that they're really popular and people watch them, but they're really fake, and all of the drama is manufactured, and the romance is probably completely manufactured. So, but this show is kind of different. I think there is there's a real honesty to the show. I'll give you an example that you know in the current season, there are several couples that break up, or they they state that they're not attracted to the person that they meet, and I actually felt a little bit of disappointment by that, right? I think it probably is it's probably not that good for driving viewership, right? But it's honest, and the participants on the show are honest, right? And I like that because um, there is a truth to our as human beings, to our romantic encounters, or even just our normal encounters, in that many of them are pretty awkward. We say awkward things, we do awkward things, and um, you know that kind of that kind of romance that we see on TV it's not typically real. I mean, we're just, as humans, we we're just not very we're not very smooth, and um, that's good and that's okay. And um, this show really has honest interactions between the participants, and I think because of that, they have a lot to teach. They have a lot to teach us as neurotypically developed people. They have a lot to teach us about honest interactions with each other, and honest romantic interactions, right? Because isn't it better to tell somebody isn't it better to tell somebody that you're not interested in them romantically, right off the bat, instead of this kind of drawn out deception, or maybe unintentional deception. But there's a lot to be said about just honesty in what we want and what we're looking for in life and in a partner. And so I really like this about the show, right? There's not any kind of fake or forced goals, and there's not, they're just people being themselves, right? So I really can't recommend this show more highly. That Please watch it and support the show, and support that kind of this kind of representation for for people who are on the spectrum, or people who have Asperger's. It's good for them to be represented, but I think it's also good for us as humans to to see people who are unlike ourselves or who are like ourselves, and how no matter what our physical or developmental or our social issues or our situation is, we are all human and we're all pretty close to each other. And we are looking for the same things, right? We're looking for romance. We're looking for connections, right? When I lived in Japan, they have a pretty segregated system for children with special needs. So they have a special school that the children go to. So they don't normally. I mean, it's changed a little bit, but normally they don't go to regular mainstream schools. And if you're a parent who doesn't have a typically developed child, you won't have any interactions with parents of typically developed children. So your only interactions will be with developmentally challenged kids and their parents. So um, there's really kind of an isolation in that community. I noticed a lot when I lived in Japan, and but also here in America, there's an isolation that you feel, right? Because um, all of the different kinds of challenges that face that face these kind of families, right? And when they're facing all of these kinds of social and developmental challenges, I think that the hope for romance or those kinds of things that uh, normal children and adults experience, it seems so far away. It seems impossible, right? And this show really gives hope for people, and it highlights the humanity of them and us and everybody. So I can't recommend it more. If you have a chance, just check it out. Check out the first season and see what you think. But it's a really good show, and I recommend it. If you have some comments or you have some feeling about the show, you watched it yourself, go ahead and leave a comment. Thank you for your time.